Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glen Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil. Having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
For generations, fans of IndyCar could only dream of stepping into the cockpit and feeling the rush of going wheel to wheel at over 200 miles per hour. Thanks to the latest in sim racing technology, we can get one step closer. Talented, fearless drivers battle it out in virtual race cars to claim supremacy at some of the world's most demanding tracks. This is the RIL, Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, presented by RaceVerse.
Well, hello and welcome back to RaceVerse coverage of the Revolution Indy League Schaeffer's IndyCar Series. 2 rounds to go, including this one, so we're coming down to it in the championship here. We can show up the points. We're in the middle of qualifying at the moment, 2.5 minutes left, but the points as they stand, we'll probably go over them multiple times tonight, though. Has Caleb Bency a handful of points ahead of Nate Schaeffer. About 20 points back is Gavin Sanders. That's the real challengers there in the top 3. Mathematically still in it is Dakota DeMaid and Nicholas Johnston, but as this race starts tonight, those will definitely be probably out of mathematical eligibility. Although Dakota said he's going to go win this one. I told him he's going to need to have some people not show up. So, but I don't think that's the case. But anyway, we got Gary Godso in the booth here tonight. How's it going, Gary?
Hey, pretty good. I was telling Dakota earlier, because in the pre-race notes by the league admin, he said that Dakota really needs a miracle. And frankly, this is a season of miracles, because we are in the Winter Olympics season right now. And this is not a very far on the map-wise from Lake Placid, where the miracles of all miracles happened when the 1980 Olympic hockey team beat the powerhouse Soviet team. So maybe it's still possible, in the spirit of all things that are miracle in the virtual state of New York, that maybe Dakota can pull this one out and head into the final race of the season, which would be next week, Championship Wednesday, where maybe he's in contention to get a back-to-back title. Either way, he's looking at a really respectable finish, but I know he really wants that number 1 badge again for next season.
Yes, he does. Well, Caleb Bency, he's current points leader. Going to be looking to not repeat, but he's been a champion before. Nate Schaeffer also looking to be a champion. Don't have a good look at him. Gavin Sanders looking for his first RIL championship. Multi-time race winner here in the series. Looking for that championship.
Each one of these guys in the top 4 have a championship or one or another in this league or other leagues.
Yes.
Caleb's a 2-time champion here. Nate's the current defending champion, reigning and defending champion of the Formula Indy Series. Gavin is the first inaugural champion of the Formula Indy Series. Of course, Dakota won last season here. So none of these guys are strangers to needing to do what it takes to get the car to be number one at the end of a long schedule.
That's exactly right. So currently, we're going to have an extra 2 minutes for everybody to finish up their laps. That's a little bit different from what we're used to, isn't it, Gary? With these qualifying, since it's open qualifying, they will allow a couple more minutes to finish hot laps. So you're not quite used to that. Maybe back over in the league that shall not be named, they used to do it over there. So, yeah, we will have a couple minutes. I'm trying to fish up for us. We had a new schedule come out for next season starting up in June. I am trying to find a link to that one. I know.
Yeah, they did. While we're talking about it, there are a couple of highlights of that particular schedule. And you'll see here in a couple of weeks when we shift coverage to the Lotus 79 series. That will be the Daredevil series for this particular calendar year, or this portion of the calendar year. We will be visiting The Rock, and that is North Carolina Speedway there. IndyCar has never been there before. They were supposed to go there about 1980 or so, and the race got canceled, and they never had it, and they never bothered to bring it on back. And you would have thought during the boom where the IRL was, going to go race at every NASCAR oval imaginable except with super speedways, that would have been a choice of a venue. Never quite was one. So for one reason or another, history just never really seen the IndyCars run at Rockingham. Not talking Rockingham, UK, of course, but Rockingham in North Carolina. They might have done some testing there, but I'll have to dig that up and see if there's any unofficial, any type of IndyCar records. But we will be, the Revolution IndyCar Series will be going to The Rock next season. So that will be interesting to see these cars. That's an extremely bumpy tracks, oddly shaped. These cars feel all sorts of squirrely on that racetrack. Also ending the season, as I was kind of teasing Matt as they announced the schedule, in the spirit of Tony George, we will be finishing the season at Indianapolis, that is something that he badly wanted to do for the IRL, and did it only one time, and then they had that odd 96-97 season, and everyone says, hey, that's stupid, let's not do it anymore. And one of the few things that they stopped doing that no one really liked right off the bat. Everything else, he says, yeah, we're just going to have to deal with it. But
yeah, I mean, okay, but that was finishing. World, we can more in the virtual world you could do that.
But we were also talking, and I mentioned this also a little bit on the FIS broadcast, that nothing's sacred anymore. And at some point, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe another oval race at Indianapolis in real life, and because of the
maybe
lack
a 400 miler,
maybe a 400 miler, and maybe we will actually see a season ender at Indianapolis on the oval, or maybe we even see the 500 on the oval and the 400 in May or whatever. Nothing's sacred anymore, folks. It's possible. In this world where money really matters and ratings really matter, that might actually be possible. But right now, IndyCar is still, don't sweat it. IndyCar is still going to have it in May, and that's just us doing some open speculation.
Yeah, so
we're getting ready to line up and go racing here.
Yeah.
And we got a full lap.
Yes, we do have a full lap, no short one here, so we have plenty of time to get through this grid. I will begin to pull it up. I did send you over the schedule, Gary, so you can have a look at that. Unfortunately, I only have the video of it. Anyway, we have Nicholas Johnston grabbing the pole there. Gavin Sanders, P2. Nate Schaeffer, P3. Matthew Short with a good qualifying position in 4th. Dakota Nemade stepping up, getting P5. Justin Miller, P6. Nagasaki Yoshikawa.
For P7 there is Nagasaki Yoshikawa, road course veteran. P8, Caleb Bensi is going to come in a little bit deeper in the field than he wants to be, but he might be doing some fuel conversation. He might be trying to save fuel. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't talk tonight. Cody Claiborne in the fish car. P9, Michael Holler, P10, Johan Shirazi, P11, and Jonathan Levator in P12.
Moving on to Dan Neeson, P13, Christian Jasper, P14, Logan Spath making his return tonight, Joshua Tucker. I know Joshua, he had some issues, few races in FIS, so we're looking to get him past the first lap here tonight Shane Coogan, our winner from last week in P17. Christopher Kresge, our administrator there in P18.
James Watson, yep. P20 is Will Weisbrod III, WW3, World War III. Hayden Herman, P21. Christopher Hill, coming really deep for a road course ace like him, 22nd. JJ Wang, 23rd. And with no time, Brody Gardner in 24th.
And apparently we've got, Nicholas Isidro there is in P25, but we've got a wild Neil Lusher back here. He was saying something about he'd do a lot better if his kids weren't messing with his fuel mode while he was driving.
Well, there's not a portion of the track that he can cut through in order to help his performance this week. So
yeah,
he's going to have to actually start in the rear and work his way up the old-fashioned. I guess he could cut the bus stop if he wants, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think this might happen. Although I will say, Neil was warned for his I don't know what we want to call antics at Long Beach. He has been warned by the administrators of the league. So we'll keep an eye on him, though. It's good to have Neil at a road course back here. Yeah, he's doing it right now. He's driving on the through the bus stop, straight line and under caution. No harm, no foul on that one. Other drivers might have done it too.
I've seen Alex Van de Sande do that typically when they were lining up cars here. You're getting no penalty in it.
Yeah.
We have seen cars actually run into each other on the formation lap. We've seen that in the Monday Night Indy top split, as a matter of fact, at the Las Vegas race this year, where it took out the pole sitter right off. Took the front row out altogether before the start for whatever reason. So. Maybe just avoiding those areas where it gets a little tight is probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that's what, when Alex is doing that, I think that's what he's trying to do, at least on that one. So we're setting up for 35 laps here tonight. That could be, with fuel save, a one-stopper, but at full burn, a two-stopper. Looks like most of our top 5 have opted to go with the black tires starting out. Justin Miller starting on the red, so we're gonna see maybe him making some moves here early, trying to get around Dakota, maybe Matthew Short. Of course, our top 3 they're all eligible for that championship still, so they're not going to be wanting to see that car with the red tires challenging them up there. Well, we're about to. This is a long pace lap.
Yes, long lap.
Not as bad as
this is actually
Spa.
impacting.
Yeah.
This is impacting fuel too.
Yeah, so good point about that. If I was really trying to make a one-stopper, I might have started from the pits because of this.
Yeah.
I've done it before at Road America, for instance. The really long pace lap on that. Porsche pace car ducks into the pits. Green flag. Side by side, Gavin Sanders. Nicholas Johnston's going to lead. A lot of cars wide in the back. A few cars.
Yeah, a couple spinning back there.
JJ Wang included. Jonathan Libertor. Joshua Tucker starting from the pits. It looks like he's coming out. But back up, heading to the bus stop. Johnston, Sanders, side by side. Still side by side they go.
Dakota has a problem.
Oh boy. We'll try to get a.
And he's gone back to the pit, so I'm not sure what happened. You go ahead and
into that. Yeah.
We'll take a look.
No, I'm getting a replay of this, so he was already damaged.
Implications.
Could have been a. Let's see what happens here. I'm watching it now. Schaeffer also championship implications. Schaeffer lost it, and he is out. He'll get his fast repair. And so that's definitely, where is Caleb? Caleb is in 5th. This is great news for Caleb.
Oh, and Dakota was trying to avoid Nate.
Yes.
That's what happened. And
Correct.
He ended up spinning and impacting the inside of the wall there in the S's. But something happened with Nate in the middle of the S's that caused a lot of people to double check and get some damage.
Well, this is Great news for Caleb Betsy. Good news also for Gavin Sanders, who is leading now, getting around Nicholas Johnston. They're just swapping that lead back and forth right now.
Yeah, let's take a look here one more time. What, from my point of view, what happened to?
Well, here's how I'd call it. Nate tried to do his best Gordon Smiley impression in the S's, and then
overcorrected.
Yeah. And then, unfortunately, Dakota was involved in that. Michael O'Brien tuning in. I'm not sure. Is Michael our FIS championship leader right now, or is Dan still up there? I'd have to look at it. It's very close.
That was just so weird the way the car. I know the cars.
It's cold black tires, I would think.
And the rescan, the cars do get loose up there, and it just that's just a weird looking. But yeah, I'm sure it had to do with and there you see Brody Garner getting into it as well, trying to avoid it. So that took out a number of cars. Looks like Jonathan Liberatore's out. Nate's on pit road getting repairs.
We do have one fast repair on the road courses, so all these drivers will get a mulligan. So
yeah, but they must have had it unchecked or something, because they should have gone. Oh wait a minute, this is the tow. Never mind.
They still got the 2.5 minutes of tow. So I see they got a new car. Nate does anyway. So back up to the front though. Nicholas Johnston trying to make a move on Gavin Sanders into the bus stop. Not going to happen. Matthew Short there in P3. Justin Miller.
Yeah, we got two. Even though again we don't have teams here, which is weird. We got two team cars immediately on Gavin's 6. Gavin doesn't have any protection up there at the moment. He has a incorporated teammate sitting back there in P5, and Caleb.
But that's the closest anyone has.
But yeah, but we look at it. We got the Infinite Motorsports in second and third. Then we have Team Supreme there, and Shirazi and Nice in 6th and 7th. So there's not a lot of support lining up there to help Gavin early on in this race. Once
and
again,
now
showing how well the draft is keeping everybody together here at this particular track. This is kind of a super speedway of road courses, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, it really is. Although with the boot version, it's a little bit less so. But one of the storylines I was starting at the beginning was Justin Miller's on these red tires. Let's see what he can do. He's coming up. He's right behind Matthew Short.
Yeah, he's
there.
purple at the moment with a 129.6.
This is where taking those red tires is a pretty good option, just to try to separate you from those other cars out here on these black tires. If we can see that gap back to Dan Nice and Johan Shirazi.
Justin on push to pass, hitting into the bus stop there. Not able to get close enough to get around Justin Short. Going through the carousel now into what the portion of the track they call the chute, which brings them into the boot portion. Them now going uphill into the toe. Another uphill 90-degree turn here, brings it back opposite direction. Go uphill, flattens out a little bit, and then they enter what is called the heel of the boot. Now, the new scan has given a lot of runoff area here. It used to be if you got your wheels off just a little bit here, you would be off into the kiddie gravel and off into one of those tire barriers. Top of the hill, this is turn 9. This is normally on the old scan pretty treacherous at the top of the hill. A lot of spin outs up there because the car's being under power and the coming uphill and the car's just kind of shifting weight differently. Not so much of a problem here in the new scan. They've got that seem to be taken care of. But that's how quick they get around here. That's and imagine how much faster they'd be if they didn't have the boot or the road or the bus stop.
Well, I can tell you, our current championship, or our current champion, as in Dakota, he would have preferred to be running the NASCAR Cup layout here. We ran that in one of the seasons, if I recall correctly. I don't remember which season it was, though.
Wow, that was a bit of an aggressive countering move there for Gavin. I'm just going as I see it. He's
Justin,
my teammate now.
Justin Miller just got around Matthew Short, and it looks like Caleb Bensey is going to be challenging Short as well, although Short has the preferred kind of line and is going to hold on to that position.
Now, if you saw what I was talking about, anybody watching at home, you're allowed one move, which Gavin did. He went to the inside, but you're not allowed to react to the car behind you. And Nick went to the outside there, and so did Gavin. So, but oh wow,
there was a power move by
move there
Short.
By Short and Miller at the we're at the top of the boot here. We're back onto the regular course. Look at the outside groove there coming in that final corner. Out of bounds, who needs it? But you're not allowed to make a reactive move, and he made a bit of a reactive move, but it also could have been one of those fade moves that are quite famous by Scott Pruitt.
The Pruitt fade, yeah.
Of course, where he had to actually fade back out in order to get a better turn into the corner. So.
Meanwhile, with this battle with Dan Neese and Shirazi have really caught up to this whole thing. I think that
Miller, here we go.
Okay.
Short takes an aggressive move on the inside, even clipping the grass, makes it by. Justin gave him room.
And now Bensi looking to go inside here. I think that Miller's...
that was really close there through the carousel.
Miller's tires have started to go off is what I'm thinking is happening right here. Like, he got around Short, and then right about that moment, his tires really started going off.
Well, and it would be about that time. They're about 6 laps into this run, and that's when the goodness of the reds or the alternate tires tend to wear off, and the black sidewall tires and prime tires tend to show their long run promise. And it used to be that aero push and everything, track position will help you maintain your spot here. Not so much at Watkins Glen just because of the draft.
Dan Neese gets around Miller. Now Shirazi looking.
Shirazi power slide coming out of turn 9 there, trying to get underneath Justin Miller to pull off that pass. 3-car battle right behind him with Yoshikawa, Holler, Hill.
Miller in the
Justin's
pits.
off. He's like, I've had enough of these.
And so he'll probably be taking...
going to the primes. And here comes Christian Jasper.
Okay. Jasper into the pits as well. He had started on the red tires too. Meanwhile, that battle up for the lead has really kind of separated itself from Sanders to Short. Thinking back to a previous season where do you remember the race, Gary, where we ran no bus stop and we had Gavin Sanders and Alex Van de Zandt battling back and forth just about every lap?
Yes.
And unfortunately, Gavin took a net code end to his day on that one right at the end, but we had a great battle there. This track has, and regardless of the layout that we have, has produced some great racing here in the RIL.
Yeah, you really think about, IndyCar typically is, the number of road courses they go to, and people saying, hey, we need more ovals. You would think Watkins Glen would be one of those road courses they go to on a regular basis. Unfortunately, Watkins Glen is owned by NASCAR.
Yeah.
So that's probably why you're not seeing an odd road course where Indy cars are not coming to regularly. And that's why. So once again, if you like to see IndyCar racing at Glen, you need to speak with your purse strings in your back pocket there and let NASCAR know that you want to see them, because otherwise, we'll probably not see them there for quite some time, and that's too bad.
Yeah, they had this period. I can't remember exactly when they were here a lot, and then they stopped going, and they came back. Was it only 1 year, or did they do it 2 years where they came back with the IR18, I believe? It might have been DW12 then, though. It was off and then on.
It was a 12, so they were here from 05 to 2010.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much Scott Dixon's racetrack, and everyone just kind of borrowed time from him.
Other than that one Justin Wilson one I was mentioning.
The very cool Justin Wilson win for Dale Corey Racing. But they were not here from 11 to 15. They were here from 16 to 17 in the DW12. In fact, the DW12 does hold the track record here with
Aero
Dixon.
Kit. Aero Kit.
Yep. And that was in 2016. But that was, I believe, the reason they came here is they were supposed to have a Grand Prix in Boston, and I think that got canceled.
That's right, yeah.
And they still wanted to, I don't want to say service the area, but still make sure they made an appearance in the market, so they were able to come to Watkins. But if I remember right, though, that Alexander Rossi win in 2017 was a pretty dominant win by him that year.
Yeah. Those cars had some mega downforce to the DW12s with the aero kits, the Chevy and the Honda aero kits. They really were quite fast at these kind of places. So,
like Michael Holler's on pit road. He's had enough of the alternate tires as well. Right now, your highest placed alternate tire driver is Hayden Herman in 10th and Nicholas Isidro in 11th. And Isidro up 14 spots, Hayden Herman up 11. Christopher Hill up in P8, he's up 14 spots as well. Cody Claiborne is out for some reason, showing him out of the race. Seifert is officially out. So this is going to have huge championship implications already. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, this is really great news for Gavin and Caleb. I said it before.
This is exactly what Gavin needs. And to be honest, this is kind of what Dakota needed a little as well. He needs to finish some positions higher and get as much points out of this. But with one of the championship contenders finishing dead last, that really kind of still keeps this a 4-horse race for the most part. But we'll see how the math shakes out when we officially get to the end here. But we are about almost a third of the way through this race.
One thing I'll say is, so Caleb here is going to have to drive this a little bit smart here. He's got Dan Neese behind him. Dan is a little bit more of an unknown driver of these, I don't know, I'd say top 6 or 7 drivers, at least in terms of being up here and driving with the, does Dan even know that these drivers are driving for the championship? Or, that would be Caleb's worry here. So, Caleb wants to maximize the points here, and we'll see what happens.
Everybody in this group up here has something to lose, whether they like it or not. Of course, Gavin, it's the overall championship. Nicholas Johnson, he's trying to hold on to a P5. He's within reach of Shane Coogan. Actually, not quite. I think the top 5 is pretty much locked in, but he wants his best finish possible. Also in this pack, you got Johan Shirazi is looking to have a solid top 10 finish this year in the league. Matthew Short's in 10th spot in the championship. He'll want a top 10 in the league. So there's still quite a bit to lose pride-wise for a lot of these drivers still here in the top 10. With not so much on the line, Dan Neese in 5th because he's missed a couple races this season. He's kind of down in 22nd in the standings, so he doesn't have as much to lose. He might be looking for an overall best finish, but these guys all ahead of him in this group kind of all have something to lose, so to speak, by getting wrecked or having a poor performance in this race.
Exactly. So I do know that just from I don't know, seeing Nicholas Johnston, some of his messages before, that he might be, and maybe hearing your post-race interviews with him, he might be sitting back here in 2nd place just doing a little bit of fuel saving. He's mentioned that over in the FIS races I've heard on the, and also in our interviews with him, that, if he's in 2nd place and he can't challenge for that lead, or he's thought that the tires have gone off and there's no point in doing it, he might just be, putting it back to fuel mode 2 or 3 and trying to get just an extra lap out here and one less lap to do on those red tires near the end of the race.
And it's not the first time we've seen these drivers battle. We saw them in a pretty spirited battle when actually myself and Stephen Larkamp did the RIL Long Beach race here. He had a good race there, and also over the FIS. The FIS was he won. We're talking Nicholas Johnson and Gavin Sanders just having a battle. They had another battle there at Long Beach there, and also a battle at VIR.
That's right. Yep.
So those guys have spent a lot of time battling each other at the front of the race on these road courses.
That is right, and Johnston really put his latest gauntlet down in FIS when he came, and I believe that Long Beach race was his first race in the series. And he won that first race in the series. Only driver to win 2 races that season. Otherwise, we had, like 8 winners that season of the 10 races, but... yeah.
We're off to a good start this year. FIS has had, I think I did the math, out of 23 races, the FIS has held 13 different winners, and this year they're 5 for 5. 5 races, 5 different winners.
Correct, yeah, that's... As one of the administrators of the league, I'm very proud of the competition that we have over there. Side by side, Chris Hill and Nagisa up here. Hill's going to get around him, it looks like. Kind of looked like Yoshikawa just kind of knew, at least at that moment, that position was Hill's. Well, he looks like he's coming back now.
Yoshikawa races the PM18 a lot in the Open PM18
Yes, he does.
series. So he's a pretty knowledgeable road course racer. So discretion sometimes it does speak in the back of your head in the better part of valor. Just like, I'm just going to let this one go.
He also, so we'll be starting up here in the RIL. You mentioned the Daredevil series that'll be starting here in a couple weeks' time, but there will also be the Thunderdome series that will be on after. It won't be broadcast, but drivers from this series will be. Yeah, we had Gary do one of the broadcasts. You can search Formula Thunderdome Revolution on your YouTube search and another tab. Thank you very much. And have Gary grimacing for about an hour for that one. But yeah, you don't want that one broadcast, do we? But we have a lot of fun with that series, and Nagasa is one of the regulars over there, so that's why I wanted to mention it.
So speaking of schedules, you got the schedule for the next RIL season, which will start up in June, I believe.
Yeah.
They're going to kick things off at the 1.5-mile oval in Kentucky, and that's the new scan, I believe. It did not say Legacy, so that is the version that has different radiuses at each different end. Turns 1 and 2 are steeper than turns 3 and 4. Kind of an opposite of what you see at the new Texas layout right now, Texas Motor Speedway. Then they'll go to Barber. Then they'll visit North Carolina Motor Speedway at Rockingham. Then they'll go to Detroit, and a very similar aspect to what they did at Las Vegas. Although I probably will not be doing this race, but maybe Matt will. We'll see. They'll be doing the duels at the Auto Club, where they will be doing first half of the race on the Auto Club Roval, and then the second race will be on the Auto Club Super Speedway. Next after that is a trip to Iowa, which seems to be a normal for this particular league. Pocono, I believe that's going to be I believe it's going to be the new scan, not the legacy scan of Pocono. A trip to Road Atlanta, then our pack race at Chicagoland. And then go to Indy Road, followed up by the 300-miler at Indianapolis.
And that is the Heinekamp Financial 300, by the way. That one has a sponsor in addition to Schaeffer's coming on board on that one. And here's the other hope, Gary, is that we have a new scan of that Indy Road course by then, and that will be the the current one, rather than the kind of butchered semi-Formula One version that we're currently running now. So.
Yep.
Oh, one thing I was looking at here, Neil Lusher is in 15th position. He has not pit ahead of JJ Wang. Challenging with Dane Coogan up here, our winner from last week. He's going to get around him. I think this could be that we might have some fuel savers here, and maybe Neil's not. I don't know. But I just wanted to get a look through the field and look at some other cars out here.
We said the stint's what, 14?
They can do 16 laps, full burn. Oh, I see Christopher Kresge is running the one of Dakota's latest classic Formula One liveries. Which one's this one?
That would have been the six-wheeled Formula One.
This car, is the Tyrrell? Tyrrell?
Yeah, the Tyrrell. Yeah.
Yeah. I always say Tyrell because I like the Blade Runner movie. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I would say it that way, but yeah, that is I think actually Neil Lusher actually requested that one, but that's what Kresge's running here tonight.
See, I call it Terrell, and that just reminds me of the captain of the Reliant from Star Trek 2, where he got the bug stuck in his ear.
I did read that they're making another one of those movies. They're starting working on it.
J.J. Abrams and the
yeah,
J.J. Abrams. Yeah, I don't think they should.
Okay. You're a originals and next generation guy, aren't you, Gary?
Well, I mean, I kind of grew up in that time frame that we were watching reruns of the original series on syndication. I don't know, on Channel 4 in Indianapolis or whatever back in the day. But yeah, the 80s I do remember the next generation, and a lot of people seem to have taken a liking to that.
Yeah.
I really like what they've done with the Orville, even though it's not a Star Trek show. It is a Star Trek show, and it's kind of done right in the way that a lot of people kind of wish that a lot of the stuff they do in the Orville was in Star Trek.
I have not seen it, but I have seen some clips from it. It does look pretty good.
It's more than it's supposed to be a parody, but it's more than that. Yeah. I'm sure everyone doesn't really want to hear talk about Star Trek and everything.
Well, I'm going to make one last point. As I know the last time we talked about this, I said I really like that Galaxy Quest movie, the one with Tim Allen. That actually apparently has a little bit of a cult following, but anyway, that's what my last thing is.
Well, they were talking about, I think, a sequel to that, maybe even doing a Hulu or Netflix series of it or something. There is some comic books that do some previous backstory of what they did in Galaxy Quest. So it's ironic that it's a show that makes fun of a comic book following. Yeah. And they have a comic book following. So,
yeah.
So following Christopher Kresge, he's in the pits for his stop. He's down and away.
J.J. Wang going to be the last car to not hit, the last car running. Joshua Tucker. Okay, Tucker, it shows that he's pit, but that's because I believe he started from the pits. And that's where he is here. He's running a Schmidt-Peterson. No, sorry, that's... I'm blanking. This is a Meyer-Shank livery, right? I get confused on those right now.
That is a Meyer, if it says AutoNation.
Yeah, I get confused on those ones because they used to be...
Oh, wait. On the side, yeah. So
We've got
would be a Meyer-Shank.
Sanders into the pits along with Bensy, and this is Johnston's going to stay out, and this is what I had mentioned earlier, where I felt that Johnston was going to be saving some fuel behind Gavin, and he's going to go another lap.
At least he has another lap. Yeah, interesting thing about the Meyer-Shank sponsorship with XM Radio, satellite Sirius XM. That's the owner, one of the owners of Sirius XM is involved in the team there.
It's the Meyer part of it.
Right, and we don't have a lot of big name sponsors in the sport. A lot of teams have a combination of a number of them, but this is one of the sponsors that is able to fund the team for the entire season. Obviously, they put a win together last season at the Indy 500 earlier Catherine Evans. If you're looking to support people that support IndyCar and IndyCar racing and IndyCar teams and putting on a good product on the racetrack, go out and get yourself a satellite radio and get yourself a subscription, because you're supporting something and somebody and an entity that supports IndyCar racing pretty much wholeheartedly.
Out of the pits, Caleb Bensy battling with Matthew Short. Ooh, boy,
yeah,
right on his gearbox.
There.
But Short opting for the red tires, Bensy going with black tires, one more stint. So
yeah, Short's probably banking on maybe doing a short stint here and then stopping again and getting the primes on to go the distance, maybe.
One thing I'll say about that strategy, though, sorry to cut you off, Gary, though, is that the draft is actually really important. So if he's going to opt to pit early and not be a part of this lead pack draft, I don't think that is going to work out strategy-wise for him.
No, you're right. And maybe if he was closer to his partner, his teammate Johnston, maybe they would pit together. But it doesn't seem to be the case. We'll see where Johnston comes out in this mess.
Yeah.
When he makes pit road, because he still needs to make that stop, and he is in the exit of the bus stop right now, coming through the carousel. So he's about a half a lap away from making that decision to go down pit road. But
so
he and Shane Coogan are the only ones who have not stopped yet.
Shane is definitely doing the one stopper. As is
Wang is now stopping and Isidro is now stopping.
Okay.
So 2 cars now.
So if you could make it 18 laps, it's 17 laps. So this could be for Johnston as well. This could be the strategy call for the win here for him. He's going to have to stop, one less time than everybody else. Sanders
and Johnston has about a 32-second lead. And it looks like the delta time on pit road is about 37
exactly.
seconds. So right now, as the math holds, Johnston's going to come out 5 seconds behind Gavin, and that's going to have a net gain for Gavin because he and Gavin were no more than a second apart for most of that event. So here's Johnston on pit road. We're going to watch Gavin. At least I'll keep an eye on Gavin, who is coming out of the heel of the boot, uphill now into turn 9. And he's going to be pretty much on the accelerator all the way around to that final corner before turning onto the pit stretch. And we'll see where he passes, or if he passes Johnston. Maybe Johnston's short pits. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. We were talking about this with the drivers before the race, and my feeling was that certainly some people will do the one-stopper, but I felt that the race-winning strategy would be the two-stopper.
Oh, and it's a lot closer than I thought it would be. They are side by side going up through the S's right now. And so here's the deal: is Johnston with the red tires, he is going to want to get those up to temperatures now. So they're going to probably be up to temperature, if not at the end of the bus stop, definitely at the end of the carousel. And he'll be going up against the prime tires of Gavin Sanders, who have been on this set for only 2 laps. So those tires are definitely up to temp, but we'll see. He's got himself about 6 laps where he wants to get around and try to pull away from Sanders before the goodness of those reds go away.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing here is he's going to have to do 17 laps on these red tires. As we saw earlier in the race, some of these drivers starting to struggle about lap 6 or 7 on the red tires. Although with that said, Johnston, very good driver. When he's saving fuel, from what I understand, he can try to save his tires a little bit better than, say, the average driver out here could save his tires with trying to run with, like, full burn. So Bensi battling back here with Short. I saw Short get around Bensi, and now I see him, Bensi back around him for that final podium position.
Yeah, that's just good news for Bensi right there. Who probably wants to try to get a little closer to this lead battle here and get some even more valuable points getting around one of these two, if not getting the win. So not out of it yet. We're just past the halfway point, and a lot of these guys got another stop to go. Some guys are going to gamble on only doing the one stopper, and we believe, as Johnston is taking a look to the outside, coming down the straight going into the bus stop, Johnston is one of those. Oh, here's Caleb Bensi side by side with Short.
Johnston takes the lead. I wonder if Gavin is switching over to try to do a one-stopper. No, he can't because he ran black tires at the start. I'm not sure why he slowed up there. Because Bensi's...
It also could be that he's... maybe there's some cooperation here between Bensi and Gavin that is occurring. I don't know.
Maybe he didn't want to give Johnston that draft.
Yeah, possible.
But Johnston made it, 18 laps with the draft. I bet he can make 17 laps without it. But yeah, make him run, make him try to lead. That's what Gavin's going to try to do. Maybe it'll come back to him.
Well, it should, actually, because those tires are going to go off here in probably about another 4 laps or so, as he's now starting lap 2 of his current stint with those new tires on.
One thing I'll note in the chat, Gary, is that we don't have our spammer tonight. So I mentioned that I made some fixes, and we'll see what happens.
Good, because if anyone clicked on those links, who knew something on their computer. So
yeah, really. Close battle. I'm just looking in the field for other close battles. Justin Miller and Shirazi
Oh, yeah, they're all over push to pass, side by side, coming out of the S's, down the backstretch into the bus stop. Who is going to give first? Well, not Miller. He just dives it right in,
Yeah.
holds the position, and they come out of it in one piece into the carousel, getting ready to line up the chute, heading down to the heel of the boot here. Not a lot of racing happens too much here in the boot. There might be a little passing right here. This corner's a lot faster than it looks.
Yes,
This
it is.
uphill corner is a lot faster than it looks. You can get some passing done in the heel.
It's kind of weird. It has
and
like that banking there, is what it
Yes.
has. Yeah.
And it's banked in a manner which is opposite for a lot of corners on this track as well. So sometimes the cars are not necessarily lined up properly for that banking of that corner, so it gives the car kind of an odd feeling. But not a lot of passing opportunities in the boot. Everyone likes the boot because of its historical significance, but there's not a lot of passing. It's either at the heel or maybe at the top of the hill in the 9, but that's about it.
Everybody except for Dakota. So I just wanted to make that note. Whenever you ask Dakota which version of Watkins Glen he likes non-boot. So
I'm actually, after racing it and just seeing how it's fun, but there's really not that many opportunities to pass there and everything. I just rather just throw on the old classic cup where you have no bus stop.
Well,
go down the backstretch into the carousel, back into the backstretch number 2, and a left turn, right turn, and you're back on the main straight.
Here's what I'll say, and we have done it before here on the RIL, is, every IndyCar league will run Watkins Glen boot. So we have those other layouts that a lot of leagues won't ever go to, so let's try those out. So we'll run Cup, or we'll run Cup Classic in the IndyCar. So I do like that variation. We've had this discussion with the RIL Illuminati. We had this discussion that this is an overused track. So that was what our discussion was about. In fact, today. So
Christopher Hill currently purple with the 129.1. He's the fastest car by far on the racetrack during that time. Next fastest, I think, is Michael Haller, the 130. No, actually, I don't see another 129. Justin Miller, 129.6. We also have a 129.3, Matthew Short, Caleb Dempsey. And here comes Justin Miller on the pit road. So remember, he stopped early to get those alternate tires off to get on the prime. Here comes Haller too. Haller's right in behind him. So these guys are making their second stops to go to the end.
I feel like that's a little bit early, though, for them. But I guess if they're doing black tires till the end, that's completely fine. So through all of this, Nicholas Johnson has not used a single push to pass. That's because he's running this fuel save strategy. He doesn't have to use them.
Yeah, a lot of people forget you push that button. I mean, that's not free power. That comes from someplace. And that's, now, in the future, it will come from someplace. But in these cars right now, in this configuration, that's coming from your fuel tank going through the engine. That is actually adding more power to the engine.
I believe
in the future, it'll be some type of electronic motor, I believe, that will actually speed things up.
I believe in addition to fuel, though, there is increased boost on that. So it's not just fuel, but it's fuel and boost. So.
But there is a larger consumption of fuel. So
Correct.
If you're calculating a tight window to get to the end and you smack that button and you didn't take that into consideration, I mean, that's. Someone's going to pit this lap here, I'm sure. Jasper, sounds like he said he's pitting this lap. If you, during practice, I mean, one of the things you should do during practice is measure what your lap fuel consumption is when you hit push to pass on this one and then not hit push to pass. And then that you should be able to determine if you are on a tight fuel saving strategy, whether you can hit that button multiple times or not. There's sometimes that people, I was watching PMLR race earlier today, and the leader couldn't really be attacked by P2 because P2, who later then fell to P3 because of fuel conservation, was so tight they couldn't smack that button to attack or defend because they would have not made the finish. So if you don't take that into consideration, the push to pass button then actually becomes a bit of a disadvantage for you.
Exactly, especially in a race like today that, like again for Johnson, anybody doing the one-stop strategy, they need every drop of that fuel that that fuel tank has. So they don't, even like using 0.1 gallon more, 0.05 gallons more. You don't want to use that. Watching the battle here between
it's so easy to use 0.1 of a gallon. It is so hard to save 0.1 of a gallon.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It takes 2 laps or something, like 2 or 3 laps to save that 0.1 versus you use that one press and you use the up. I'm looking at a battle here for 7th position between Shirazi and Yoshikawa. We are 10 laps to go, just FYI. We made it, past the halfway mark here real quick, and we didn't call it out.
Yeah, right now we show 21 cars running made right now in 21st. This is not panning out to be the way that he wanted his defense of his championship to might be ending tonight right now in 21st. But he's back there struggling, but he's the last car, I believe, on the lead lap. I don't think we have here. Nope, he is a lap down. Last car on the lead lap actually is P20 at Christopher Kresge. But the top 6 are separated by less than 10 seconds, so that's not too bad.
So, looking at the battle for the lead here.
Yeah, it's getting closer too.
Yeah, it is coming down. It was up to actually 2 seconds at one point in time, but it's down to about a half a second now.
Well, you got we are now on lap 6 of that stint, and so those red tires are what the speedy portion of them is gone. Now it's the hang on to your butts portion of them.
Correct. Yep.
It is he's doing right now.
Yeah, and it will only get worse from here. I mean, it is helped slightly because he is fuel saving, so he's not going to burn through those tires as much. But still, this is a track. We have very hot temperatures on the track right now.
127 current track temp, 79 ambient, which isn't too bad, but 127-degree track temperature. And here comes Gavin. He is all over the back end, not even using push to pass right now. Pulling alongside. Okay, that is a 100% fuel conservation move. The fact that he didn't hit push to pass, the fact that Gavin did need to use push to pass to get by him, probably says that Nicholas has decided that he is going to try to conserve here over the next 10 laps.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting if he can make it, because Gavin and Caleb need to pull out a large lead to make this work for them.
Yeah, last time by Gavin, 130 flat. Johnson, 130.6. Caleb even faster, 129.9.
Yeah, this is where Gavin, I think, will just want to use his push to pass just to try to outrun Johnson. Get Johnson out of your draft.
Yeah, especially if he has a stop anyways. I mean, smoke him if you got him at this point. Smack him every straightaway you can.
Yeah, and then you see him weaving. Yep.
Yeah.
He'll use the push to pass, I would think, anyway, after turn 1 would be the place to do it.
Yeah, you're pretty much on the throttle all the way up. The S is here.
Not using it.
You can actually, I think you can actually use the push to pass at the bottom of the hill of the S and run out of push to pass by the time you get to the bus stop.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, it lasts.
Kind of like the straights at Le Mans with an IndyCar.
Well, you could use. You almost needed 2 on some of those straights on the Mulsanne straight.
Yeah.
We ran that one race in the league that shall not be named, but that race was really interesting, and that push to pass went out really quickly, and the race is probably 17 laps.
Right. And speaking of interesting, here's something interesting. Not sure what happened to Short, but something has caused him to fall back to P20.
Yeah.
Now Johnson has a teammate in this mix here. Not going to say teammate can do anything, but the teammate can make himself as wide as possible, allow that aero dirty wash to make things difficult for Gavin. Is Is Short going to do that, or is he going to be the nice guy and kind of pull down out of the way and let these leaders go at it? But no telling. Even though we don't have teams here anymore, or we don't run teams here at all, believe me, there are teams on this racetrack.
Yeah, there are people in voice chat together.
And say
JJ Wang, another team car from this.
Yeah, he's part of this. He's part of this squad. Just want to say hi to some of the guys in chat. I see Michael O'Brien in chat. Of course, he finished second last night at Mosport Park to Gavin. Actually, it was a home race for Gavin. So welcome to him in chat. Nate the Great there. Unfortunately, his day was over a lot earlier than he wanted to be. Hopefully, it doesn't. We'll see how the points shake out at the end of the night. See where everything is. And see if he has a shot come next championship. But thanks for everybody for watching from home.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to Homestead with a championship battle.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, another name that we haven't talked about a lot, Will Whiteman. He's up to P7. Logan Spath up to P8. I know a lot of this has to do with people that had to make their second stops, and some of these guys still have to make their second stop, but they've cracked their way into the top 10.
I believe Will working in Sebring this week with the whole IndyCar test, so that's what he does.
Yeah, Will's dropping names and pictures like he's an important person over in the Discord server.
Yep. So, yeah. Logan Spath up here in 8th. He started 15th, so he's having a good run. Isidro is our biggest mover at the moment. He started 25th, and he's running 10th.
And he's looking for the one-stop race as well, because he went 17 on his first stint, and he was one of 2 cars to go more than 17 or more laps. So he is definitely finding conservation of fuel in that right foot of his. And while we're talking, Caleb managed to get around Nicholas Johnson, so now Caleb has earned some valuable more points, hopefully to take himself in the championship Wednesday next week.
Well, we'll see. I feel like, I just got to see how Johnson's tires hold up here in these next 6.5 laps. They're holding up pretty well, I think. And I don't think fuel is as big of an issue. I think 17 is doable. 18 is the difficult one to get to, and he did that already. So, like, he's certainly still saving some. But I think that the bigger issue is keeping those red tires underneath him.
Another driver to shout out to, we've mentioned him briefly earlier, but he's been kind of hanging around the top 5 all night long. Oh, there goes Caleb. Caleb taking on road on the pit. Dan Neese is up to P4. He's going up to P3 in here just a minute as this pit stop that Caleb's doing cycles through. But Dan Neese now with the Team Supreme coming up to P3.
And let's see here. What strategy was Nice on red tires at the start? I thought he was on black tires.
He started on the reds. Yeah, I think he's switched. At least he said he qualified on reds, so he's on blacks currently.
Okay. Well, he's used push to pass, so I don't know if he's.
He might still need to stop.
Yeah.
Right. He might still need to stop because I see on my other tire chart I see prime, so I don't think he's gone to the red.
To the reds. Everybody has to use reds for at least 1 lap, I believe, is the rule. Some leagues have it 2 laps. FIS only has it as 1 lap, so that's the way we do it. So Caleb out of the pits comes out in 5th place. So before the end of the race, he's hoping to get a couple more spots here.
Yeah, he's banking on quite a few people making a last stop.
Yeah. Gavin.
And here comes Caleb. Here comes Gavin, sorry. Yeah. He's going to hit pit road, and now, and also right behind him is Dan Neese. So this is we'll see a Shirazi now stop. So that's going to turn the lead over to Johnston. Shirazi's at the top of the boot.
Big lead.
He's coming into turn 10 and 11. We'll see if he makes that turn down pit road for his stop, or he's just going to go to this. We'll see. And he looks away. Yeah, he's going to pit road the way that he came in there, shallow. So Caleb now, there's Caleb hitting the straight. He's going to pick up that position on Tarazi.
How he comes out compared to Gavin. Gavin just coming out of his spit now. Caleb might be side by side with Gavin here. Caleb with hot tires, Gavin with cold tires. Side by side through the S's they go. Championship rivals here.
Kind of associative teammates.
Sort of.
Yeah. You don't even want to wreck your associative teammate.
No.
Don't do that. But Gavin gets, looks like he's going to have to tuck in and try to soldier this battle on as those tires of his still come up to temperature. They should be up to full temperature now.
Yeah, right now.
Lead time, Caleb is, let's say, full rich on everything, and he's putting some distance now between himself and Gavin.
Yeah, so this is good strategy call by Caleb to get, switch on over, try to do the undercut on Gavin, but again, that puts Caleb with those older tires near the end of the race, those final lap or two, he's going to have tires that are kind of screaming for grip.
And so we have now your leader is, if it's going to be a fuel mileage thing, he's getting a little aero help from Christopher Kresge, who now pulls out of the way before the bus stop to let him on through. Joshua Tucker actually follows him on through and gets the position on Kresge. Maybe Kresge knew that. He probably regret pulling over and making that quite as easy because he just gave up a freebie to Tucker. Tucker wisely took advantage of it, but Tucker is currently 2 laps into his current stint, so his tires are better than what's in front of him at the moment, so that's why he's kind of keeping up with them. But fortunately, Tucker's back in 19, had a bit of a rougher day than he probably wanted to have.
Caleb's last lap of the race, fastest lap. Yeah,
127.9. Not even. I don't think we've had another 127 at all. So light tanks, fresh tires. I don't even know.
Nearly a qualifying lap.
That is really a qualifying lap, but I don't think he just had clean track in front of him, so that's not even aero draft.
I think that might have been faster than Caleb's actual qualifying lap. I believe he was in the 28s for his qualifying lap. So, track temperatures coming down, lighter. They had race fuel for the qualifying lap, so that definitely, I would say, faster lap there.
Yeah.
23 seconds. That's a lot to. It's all on whether Johnston can kind of keep it on the track here, and I think he's going to do a fine job doing exactly that in these final 3 laps of the race.
Bouncing the car over the curbs to the bus stop.
Battle for second is a thing coming up here, though, between Bensi and Sanders. Only half second between them. They're both on push to pass. Bensi only have 1 push after this one, and
Gavin Sanders 127.4 last time by.
Wow.
So he said to Caleb, "I'll see your bet and counter you this."
Half a second faster. Yep. So yeah, Gavin's gonna have 4.
And that probably had the aid of the draft a little bit too.
Yes.
So. I'm not going to discount that lap aid by saying it wasn't draft aided, but
the
still.
worst thing that could happen, though, for both of these drivers is for them to crash in this battle here, though.
Caleb taking defensive line, coming down to the heel of the boot on the outside. Gavin,
oh boy!
Careful, fellas.
They looked a little
weird.
Back
on the track before the grass. Up at the top of the hill at 9, Gavin has the lead and now is starting to pull away. But we'll see what happens when the draft gets back in as a factor here. And we already know Caleb can put down a 127, so we'll see if he can run him down. That time by Gavin 127.9, Caleb 129.4.
Second and a half.
It's like a second and a half faster.
Gavin on push to pass. That lead 20 seconds now, so it's coming down.
They each have 1 left, so
yeah.
I mean that's.
Gavin used a lot in a single lap there, so
They got it down to 18 seconds on Johnson, but I just don't think there's enough time.
Yeah. They're really, it's just, like I said, just down to whether he can keep it on the track.
Yeah, Johnson now at the heel of the boot, coming uphill into 9, getting ready to rejoin the main course.
Well, in that case, if he wins the race, I will be wrong because I said that I thought the winner would be the two-stop strategy, but I didn't take into account a wild Johnston. He's a fuel-saving master. We've seen it we've seen it here, but also over in FIS. So. And he's finally using a push-to-pass right now.
That's just probably laying down an exclamation that he probably has more than enough.
Yeah, he has.
Mine as well.
But with having all that fuel save, you got to be careful. There's different styles of driving, and then he switches over to really starting to push it, and he's got those old tires. He might just loop it. But
he's probably going to set a personal best.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to set a purple lap, but he'll probably set a personal best. He's personal best in Sector 2 right now.
Not with 17-lap-old tires. He's on push-to-pass again, though. Can use them all up on the final lap if he can. I don't think he'll even have time to do that, but he'll use as many as he can.
Whoa, wide there in the heel.
It's okay with the NASCAR. They paved everything. And last time around, last corner, Nick Johnston gonna take the win here at Watkins Glen in dominating fashion with the fuel save, 17 seconds ahead.
Last lap was a 1:30 flat, so not quite his best, but a good one nevertheless. And he brings it home and going to do his donuts into the runoff area.
Early donuts here.
Yep. Gavin going to live to see Championship Wednesday, I believe. He finishes second. And Caleb will definitely see Championship Wednesday. He'll probably be your points leader. So it will be his championship to maybe win or lose come next week at Homestead.
Yeah, so next week, the main event in Miami at Homestead, Miami Race Speedway. 125 laps, same time, same place next week. And I believe Johnson blew up his engine at the end there.
If you don't need it.
That's exactly right. The tough break for Nate Schaeffer, Dakota DeMade, for their championship runs. But Nate will survive to be next week. So at Homestead. So let's set up for our interviews, and we will be right back for that. All right, we are back. Let's see if we have anybody on the waiting room. It looks like we've got somebody. We've got Nick Johnston. Do we want to pull him up first, Gary? We usually wait, but should we just pull him up?
You're the director when you're.
Let me go ahead and just pull him up. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
All right, there he is.
Hey, Nick. This is Matt and Gary up in the booth. How's it going?
Hey, sorry, I was taking off a sweatshirt. How are you?
I know Gary. We were discussing it. So Gary usually pulls up the winner last, but I said he's down there, and I bet he wants to move on to whatever he has to move on next with how fast you've been going. You did the one stopper. You're very good at saving fuel. Since you joined in FIS, you've done it over here in RIL as well. I told the guys, I said I figured the winner would do the two-stopper, but you proved me wrong, so good on you for doing that. Surviving 17 laps on those red tires. Tell me about your race, though.
Honestly, it's not the most exciting way to win it, and I kind of wish the race was 1 or 2 laps longer. That way, like it was just two stop and you just duke it out. Because me and Gavin would have going back and forth for the lead every lap. It would have been a lot more exciting. But when the opportunity presents itself to save yourself 30 seconds, is what it saves you from driving down that
Hmm.
enormously long pit road. You got to take it. And when Gavin went by on lap one, it locked in my decision. I was just gonna fuel save behind him. And I think about halfway through that first stint, he kind of like got the hint because he started to fuel save a little bit. Then I think he realized he was a little bit too late to the party and started to go again. But at that point, I was just managing my fuel, managing the tires, fuel saving with the reds. I mean, you're able to save the tires a lot. I still had like 65% there at the end when I checked them. So it was pretty crazy because the last lap of my black tire stint, the first stint, I just pushed because I had enough fuel to make the lap. So I went as good as I could go. And I was only going like a tenth, maybe a tenth and a half faster than my previous lap's fuel saving. So just learning the lift and coast and the cadence of it all, you can save a ton of. I went 2 laps longer than those guys that first stint. You can save so much and still keep a relatively decent pace.
Yeah, really good job fuel saving. Hey, I saw that you didn't use any push to pass until that final lap where you started using them. That all plays into the factor of fuel saving. I don't know if you're mathematically still in the championship or not. Gary might know that. But either way, you had a pretty good season here. Um, and a heck of a race today. What are your thoughts? I know you're not as much of an oval guy, but our final race next week, Homestead, Miami Speedway. It's a good oval. I think it's a really good choice for a final race here.
Yeah, Homestead's a really fun track with the IndyCar. I actually enjoy that since the way the banking works there and everything. You can run different lines and get the clean air and stuff. Like when we were at, I think it was Nashville last week, it was incredibly boring to race there because pretty much whatever you got your first few laps after a pit stop or after yellow, that was kind of you were stuck there. At least I was. Maybe I just suck at it, but um, we'll go in Homestead. We'll try to win the race. 4 tires, 2 wings, and let the points play out. I have no idea if I'm in or not with drops and
Well,
everything,
we
but
do
we'll
get the
see.
points updated here. Caleb is going to go into the final weekend with a 15-point lead over Gavin, who worked his way up to second spot. Nate fell a position. He is now 35 behind the lead and 20 behind Gavin. Nick, you are P4 now. You moved up a spot. You're 82 behind the lead. So
Okay,
I think it's what, 50 something
that
for
way.
you?
Yeah, like if you got all the points available, it'd be like 53 or 54. So it
Yeah,
looks like
so
yeah.
yeah, it looks like unfortunately, but you did get a position, and you got guaranteed yourself a top five finish in your first season here in the RIL. So, congrats on that. You can only kind of improve the margins going into Homestead, but congratulations on the top five finish in the league and the points. And you've had yourself quite a busy last couple weeks between here and the FIS and whatnot. So. Maybe we'll let you go ahead and get that well-deserved rest now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it seems like my wreck on Tuesday do pretty good on Wednesday. Seems to be the last couple of weeks for me. So it is what it is. I know. I think are there drops here or not in the points?
There is one drop.
One drop, and I
Yeah.
don't think it's
So
been calculated yet.
Yeah, I
even
don't
so,
believe so.
I'm roughly 60 something behind Gavin. We both only have 10 starts, so I think it's kind of a moot point. I'm just fighting for a race winning next week. So
Exactly.
it is what it is. It's been a fun season. I like racing with these guys. It's a good group. It's I like the open qualifying. I like all that stuff. They do a good job here and they put on a great series. So definitely thank you to Schaeffer's for sponsoring it and the Revolution Indie League for putting this on. You guys are broadcasting week in, week out. You guys do a great job and it's really entertaining for people out there. So it's a lot of fun. The guys over at Infinite, they do a great job. A lot of testing, a lot of practice going in. Unfortunately, Matthew was having a great race. He was going to be right up there fighting
Yep.
for a podium and had a little mistake there at the end, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah.
it was a good week, and we'll try again next time.
Well, thanks for being part of the league. We appreciate you being here, and congratulations on the win. This is your fourth this season, I think.
Third.
Okay.
Third or fourth?
Yeah.
Yeah. So not a bad first season at all. Congrats.
Sounds
Thank you.
good. We'll
Yes,
see you next week right here, Nick.
We'll see you.
See ya.
All right, we'll bring up. Okay, let's just do it in this order. We're going to bring up Gavin. We're going to make Caleb wait. All right, we got Gavin up here. As I said it, you knew I said it. I said I figured the race winner is going to be the two-stopper. I was wrong. So yeah, unfortunately, but this is really good. A really good day for both you and Caleb for your points for this championship run into next week at Homestead. But tell me about your race, Gavin.
Yeah, definitely a really solid points tonight for sure. It kind of sucks when the the guy you're talking to and relating off of and back and forth and kind of bouncing ideas off of is the one that you have to beat because you're trying to communicate but not communicate too much, and then you don't know what's going on. But no, Caleb and I had a really nice race at the end there. Otherwise, it was just kind of managing the tires. It was pretty high track temp, and then obviously Nick had that massive fuel save strat. And in hindsight, I might not have passed him on the first lap.
That's exactly
But,
what he said in his interview. He was like,
yeah,
"Well, once he got by, I decided I was going to make my decision." And he's like, and he goes, he thinks that you realized about halfway through that first stint when you wanted to start a fuel saving that he was already doing it, and it was kind of
yeah,
too late. You made that bed,
yeah.
and you were kind of had to sleep in it then.
Once I changed my maps, and then he lifted down the straightaway to just kind of be like, "No, no, you keep going." I was like, "Oh man." But yeah, otherwise a good night. Obviously, unfortunate what happened to Nate with just cold tires and a snappy car, but yeah, it definitely benefits me and Caleb going into Homestead, and I'm definitely definitely shocked to be in the position I'm in before the finale.
Got 15 points behind going into the finale, so that's just a couple positions on the racetrack. It's going to be whoever finishes in front of whoever, for the most part, is going to be whoever wins the championship.
Yeah,
So
that spread in points is really only like for first to fourth probably. So
Yeah.
it's really going to be tight. Those bonus points might be a factor on what ties are, and of course there's drop week calculated. That me and Gary are going to have a lot of fun with drop week and who won the championship.
Huh. Yeah.
So yeah, a good run here tonight though. It was good. It was good seeing a battle. So Caleb undercut you on the final pit stop, and he got ahead of you. We saw a good battle between you, and you had a bunch of push to pass over him. You set the fastest lap of the race, almost a half second faster than he had previously set the fastest lap. You were a half second faster than him, so heck of a run on that. And I think, that was faster than the pole lap because the pole lap would have been on full fuel, right? So, or nearly full fuel compared to what you guys were running.
Yeah, no, I think going into the final race, I think if I got my calculations right, it should be 8 points with drops.
Okay.
So it'll be yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really. So we're going to have a really good championship run here next week in Homestead.
Yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, mad respect to him as well. He's had a next level season, and he's normally the championship protagonist all the time I've been here, at least.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun one for sure.
Well, you guys were side by side in that one corner. I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
I was like expecting fireworks because you never know, like especially with like Caleb's red tires just being that one lap older. You never know if he went defensive and he could just slide up into there, almost a wheel bang. But I don't think it was quite one. But yeah, heck of a battle between you guys and clean battle. But yeah, hey, any shout outs, thank yous, that kind of thing?
Yeah, big shout out, obviously, Team Race First. The guys in there make it super easy every week and just a great time. Fiber Data Exchange, Midwest Internet Exchange, Alpine Stars, Braid Motorsports, Stilo, Fat Bastard Burrito, and I think that's everyone.
Gary, I think he did a pretty good job at your sponsors this week.
burritos for everybody if wins the
Burritos for everybody.
championship.
We're gonna get some boxes and ship them down.
I hope that happens. I hope it happens. All right. We'll let you go, and we'll see you back next week.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this week we made Caleb wait the whole time. I'm sure he's got to do some homework or something like that. But
He only finished second. We're making him wait. Jeez.
well, it was third. It was third, but really,
I wish.
really good.
Yeah, you wish. But I mean, you're going into the last race with a pre-drop week calculation of 15-point lead going into the final race. So next week is like every lap's going to matter.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you rubbing in the fact that I didn't get second there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those. All things considered, that was a pretty good race for me. Completely screwed up qualifying. Got floor damage, I think, and by that point you need to reset, and then you're behind on fuel. I was trying to push on higher fuel and just couldn't get a clean lap. Got a 1x on my money lap, all that stuff. So just didn't really get a good starting spot at all. But yeah, just kind of had decent pace and tried to hang with the leaders, and almost had second there at the end. But those reds were out pretty quick and have 1 lap older reds there. I just really couldn't hold Gavin.
Yeah, he did have the advantage on push to pass, but I thought you might have made the right call. Like I was like, Caleb did a good strategy here to doing the undercut because you got ahead of him, and I thought that might be
Look good. Yeah.
Yeah, but you both had a really good battle there at the end. It was a little. I was a little worried that there was going to be a crash there at the back, whatever the back portion after the boot kind of section. Yeah, was it close?
Yeah, it seemed pretty close. I mean, it's pretty fair though. Gavin's definitely one of the guys like I trust racing around,
but you never know with net code and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but I know he'll give me a little space. I'll give him a little space, but we'll definitely still put it all out there. And I mean, obviously it's a little frustrating being on the losing end of that, but I thought the undercut gave me the best shot, and it did give me the best shot. It just
it did, yeah.
The reds were out so quick, just that 1 lap, and then missed that corner a little bit, and then didn't have. I want to save the push pass, not use it when he tried to pass there, and obviously in retrospect probably should have used it, but yeah, I mean either way it was a good battle. Still happy to come out third and be in a decent spot going to the championship race. So we're just gonna have to see from there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nate having that bad race. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a good day for you in that respect, but it's all going to come down to this final race. Gary had the numbers that I think you have a 8-point lead over Gavin. This is after drops. Mm-hmm. So this is coming down to it. I don't think we've had a RIL championship where it was like 3 people that were really close. I think it was always 1 versus 1 kind of thing.
Yeah, I know the first year me and Alex were super close.
Yeah.
Going into Gateway, barely got him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I Homestead's typically not like my best oval. I can never not have understeer, it feels like there. So hopefully I can figure that out. But I mean, having an 8-point lead hopefully can just be solid. Like it doesn't have to be great. Just stay close to Gavin, try to stay up front and stay out of trouble. I think that's definitely the biggest thing at oval. So yeah, I mean in a good spot. Obviously could be better, some terrible races early in the year, but pretty happy all things considered going into Homestead.
Sounds good. Well, a heck of a run here tonight. You did what you had to do for the championship. You started 8th, you finished 3rd, so you came back from that qualifying. I didn't put it on the broadcast, but I knew you had messaged me about it, and I had read it, and yeah, you definitely came back from that. But hey, any final shout-outs, that kind of stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, I was mad. My lap in practice on map 3 was 4 tenths faster than I qualified.
Yeah.
So that was very frustrating. But yeah, obviously, thanks to you guys as always for a great broadcast. And Fawn and Fanny, again, 20-team race first. Seriously, hopefully everyone who's watching has checked it out. But if you have not, please do that. FawnandFanny.com. And then obviously I know some friends and family are watching as always. So thanks to you guys for always tuning in and supporting, and glad to get another podium, and hopefully can close it out on a high next week at Homestead.
Sounds good. Well, we will see you then. Off week in FIS, so you can completely focus on Homestead, and nothing else, of course.
Yeah, exactly. That's full focus over anything school. Yeah.
Yeah, no school, whatever. All right, you take care, Caleb, and we'll see you back next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Yep. All right, well, heck of a race here tonight. Let's look at our results, and we'll let Gary take us out. But Johnston, Sanders, Fancy, Dan Neese with a heck of a run here tonight. And fourth, Chris Hill coming back. Isidro, that's our biggest mover of the race, right? He started 25th, and he finished 6th. So
yeah, Hill came from 22nd to 5th. Isidro 25th to 6th. Even Neese came from 13th to 4th. So those guys definitely put in a good night's work there from 4th, 5th, and 6th. So go enjoy your favorite beverage. But next week's going to be really interesting. I'm really interesting. I'm really excited for next week to see 3 cars within contention for the championship. I hope everyone manages to take the time and tell their friends and make sure to tune in the Race First next Wednesday to check that out, because it's like I said, we haven't seen a 3-car battle going into the final race this year. We're going to have that, or this season we're going to have that, and that's going to make a lot of our heads on a swivel. There's only 2 of us, and we can only watch so many cars, and we really need to watch 3 in this one. So it's going to keep us busy, but it's going to be an exciting race, and we might also see some people that we normally don't see because it is an oval. But another exciting season for the RIL, and thanks for Schaeffer for being a part of it.
Yeah, I didn't want to exactly tell Caleb this, but I was thinking about so at Homestead, when we get back to the oval, we're gonna have some crazies that come out here, right, Gary? And it's not gonna be our usual suspects that are.
I hate saying that because I'm typically one of those people that will come out for the ovals, and I don't want to think of myself as crazy. But there are some people with a different frame of mind when they get onto a racetrack that doesn't involve turning right and just all left-hand turns. We hope that doesn't become an issue next week. That's always a risk, though, that any league, whether it be real racing, simulation racing, or something, that a part-timer comes in and impacts a regular driver in the race. We've seen it in the Indy 500 before in real life, and we've seen it in sim racing before. So I'm hoping that everyone that comes in next week plays nice and allows these 3 to race for the championship that they rightfully should have an opportunity to race for.
Sounds good. So we'll be here next week, same time, same place. And I'll let you do the outro if you want, Gary.
Yeah, so that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Watkins, Glen. Nicholas Johnson with yet another win this season. Gavin Sanders staying in contention for see a possible championship next week. And Caleb Bency looking for a championship at number 3 in the RIL next week as we go to Championship Wednesday. Join Race First again next Wednesday as we'll be coming to you from the Homestead Miami Speedway for Championship Wednesday of the Revolution IndyCar League's Schaeffer IndyCar Series. That is next Wednesday night, 7:50 Eastern Time. Again, 7:50 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at youtube.com/racefirst. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please do leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's race. If you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. And if you're new, click subscribe. While you hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more race versus iRacing programming, including our continuing coverage of the official iRacing Fixed IndyCar Series, the Monday Night Indy Split. It's every Monday at 7:15 Eastern Time. And the Midwest Kidney Warriors Formula Indy Series on Tuesday evenings at approximately 8:45 Eastern Time. Join Race First for the best fixed IndyCar oval and road race coverage every week right here on YouTube at youtube.com/racefirst. For business inquiries and learn more about Race First and what we do, visit racefirst.com or follow us on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter, Gary Gazzo. For Matt Houston, everyone at Race First, I am Gary Gazzo saying all good night. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, God bless, Godspeed, and come home safe. Thanks again for watching, and catch us next week for Championship Wednesday of the Revolution IndyCar League's Schaeffer's IndyCar Series. Good night.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glen Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's Oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's Oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.